Well, welcome guys to Dispatch Training Center. It's me, Alex. And today we're gonna be talking about upcoming news and road check that is scheduled in May. Well, many of you who are pro dispatchers, who are owner of the trucking companies, and also our pro drivers are already know this, right? So let's see. First, when is it scheduled and what are they gonna be checking? Well, the Commercial Vehicle Safety Alliance did schedule the road check this year for May 13th through 15th. So it's gonna take 3 days, and usually each year they emphasize on specific areas. So it's 72 hours, and they will be performing inspection level 1. If you are brand new to the trucking, if you are newer dispatcher, you may be not aware of what is a road inspection is. First, we have them randomly. So you cannot go and schedule your inspection on the road. Your drivers will be stopped by the DOT inspectors, by the police, and they will actually perform the inspection, and level 1 is gonna check on 37 steps. As a safety manager and also as a driver, you probably know all the different types of inspection. We're gonna cover it in a few minutes, but you need to understand that this year you have to pay attention to certain things. Well, I'm gonna share my screen, and for most of you, you can go to their website, official website for the Commercial Vehicle Alliance, Safety Alliance, and all the information is here. If you have any drivers, if you educating someone, please make sure you use their downloadable files. You can do it in Spanish, French, and English. Well, kind of makes me think. So some states are going after non-English speaking drivers, but still we have all these flyers in Spanish and French. Well, I think they need to update it, but it's gonna take a while. Let's go back and see what are we gonna be paying attention to this year. Well, first, we're gonna be paying attention to our tires, right? So they will be checking on that treads. They're gonna be checking on your air leaks. They're gonna be checking on flat tires. They're gonna be making sure that your tires are in good condition. So if you are the owner of the company and you know that you might need invest right now, maybe you still have time to fix this. Maybe you can go to shops and you can change some tires, and this way you will be able to avoid some of the violations. A lot of drivers also will just stay home because they don't want to take care of their trucks right now, or they simply cannot afford it. So they are not going to drive for those 3 days. Well, we're going to see how it's going to affect dispatchers, but we're going to do it later after we're done with the information. So the tire is going to be there. And what else are they going to be checking on? Well, of course, they're going to be paying attention to your ELDs. So your ELD device has to be approved. So please do not fake your ELDs if you are faking, and at least stop 7 days prior to the beginning of the road check. Why? Because officer can go back 8 days. So make sure if your company is still pushing you to fake ELDs, and if they are changing the data, don't do it. You do not want to get out of service, because every out of service is going to affect safety of your company, It's going to affect ability for your dispatchers to find the loads, because a lot of brokers will not be giving you loads when your safety is too high, when your out of service rate is higher than they want to have. And usually it's if it's above 75%. So pay attention to this. And also they're gonna pay attention to clearing house, right? Let's see what violations were found last year. So the most violations were found with mechanical issues, right? So 20% of total violations in 2024 during the road checks were the mechanical violations. What happened to hours of service? Well, you will be surprised. It was 32%. So your ELDs, your hours of service, it was 32% of all the violations. Well, let's go back to clearinghouse. We all know that employers are required to check the clearinghouse first during your pre-employment when you're applying for jobs. So pre-employment application, we do the full query. And usually drivers can be prohibited or not prohibited. Well, after we do that, mandatory we have to do annual check in the clearinghouse. And it can be limited query, but you need to make sure you have authorization from the driver. He needs to sign a special form that he agrees for you to run this limited query. And if you're a safety professional, you need to keep it on file for 3 years during employment and after termination. But what happens if you hire your driver and full query was good, he was not prohibited, and now suddenly you see that he is prohibited? Well, if limited query tells you that he is prohibited, you will need to run full query within 24 hours. So guys, you cannot wait a week, you cannot wait 10 days. And the funny part is this driver cannot keep driving. So if he's in the middle of somewhere, unfortunately, legally, he has to stop driving your equipment. So pay attention to this. Well, a lot of people actually learning safety and compliance because we have new companies, we have people who have only 1, 2 trucks, and a lot of times they are missing certain steps. So I want to make sure that you guys understand importance of following all the regulations. It does not matter if you have only 1 truck and you are the owner of the company. All the steps, application, check on your MVR, your annual query, pre-employment query, they have to be done. Special forms have to be signed. You need to have the contract. So please do not make this mistake. And why I'm telling you this? Well, because many of you are taking actually also not only freight dispatch training with us, but safety and compliance training. And we are having IFTA permits and calculation class this Saturday. We're going to start at 12 o'clock till 4. If you are a previous student, please make sure you reach out. We're going to give you discount. If not, you can take the class. It's $3.99. It's going to be 4 hours. And we're going to be covering IFTA filings in your state. We're going to go through all the permits, how to open the permits in Connecticut, in New York, in Kentucky, in New Mexico, in Oregon, how to file your quarterly miles in those states, and also how to update your inventory, or if you need to remove your trucks and drivers from those states' data. So we're going to cover all that, but most importantly, we're going to talk about paperwork. What is needed to make sure that you can pass those audits? What do you need to keep on file for each driver? How long do you need to keep the receipts for fuel, for tolls? How many years? Well, you will be surprised. It's 4.5 years. So if you are still wondering how to do this, or maybe you are questioning if the third party is doing it correct, well, make sure you sign up for the class. So look at this. We can go to our IFTA. Always go to original resources. Do not go to the third party. And you can find lots and lots of information, right? So you can see manuals. You can find out what is exactly needed for your state, how to open IFTA. So make sure you subscribe to the newsletters and you educate yourself. Should you have an IFTA license? Who is required to have IFTA license? When is it due to file the returns every quarter? What if you are moving from different state? So all of those things are very easy to learn. But again, if you have time, you can learn on your own, or you can simply come and within 4 hours on our live training, we will cover all of this. And then coming next week, we are going with our safety and compliance. And here we're going to be learning a lot. So it's going to be 4 classes. Each class is 4 hours long, interactive, lots of materials, all the forms you need to run your safety and compliance. If you are looking to offer this as a service, you will be well set. Many of you know me already. I give way more information and resources than anybody else out there, because I do believe in knowledge. I do believe in doing it correct. And I think that if you understand safety and compliance, well, first, it's going to improve your dispatching as well. If you are open company, well, you're going to eliminate a lots and a lots of mistakes. And if you're looking to make extra money, well, this is just an extra knowledge that you can monetize. So guys, this is what's coming up. Make sure, again, if you do need to print out this for your drivers, if you really want to see what's going on and what do you need to pay attention, go to official CVSA.org and you can have all of this here. You have all the resources, right? You have all the information. And please make sure you also learn about inspections, because usually drivers only know, well, inspection level 1, inspection level 2, and inspection level 3. But we do have more than that, right? If you guys been watching me already, you know that we have inspection level 4, inspection level 5, 6, and 7, and even 8. So look at this. Even by watching this video on my TikTok, you're already improving your knowledge. Also, if you are new to this industry, you can learn about your decals, right? What is the decals? Why are they giving them to the drivers? Where are you supposed to put them on a truck? And when do you supposed to remove them? It's lots and lots of information. And for some curious people, you will even learn why do they have them in only 4 colors. Well, there is a catch. Look at the screen right now. Well, green only goes for decals that are issued in January, February, and March. Yellow for April, May, and June. And then July, August, September, and October, November, December. Some drivers love to keep them, right? But again, after that time is up, you have to remove them. Well, let's go back and see about IFTA. And I will answer few questions and then we're going to be done for today because it's just an announcement about the road check upcoming in May, also our upcoming classes. So if you have questions, please ask me and I will try to answer for the next 10-15. Well, and we are back. So let's answer some questions. I have my TikTokers here. So if you guys have questions, you can ask as well. But let's say hi for a few people. And here's the questions which I have displayed right now on our YouTube channel. By the way, if you did not subscribe yet, make sure you find us Dispatch Training Center and you will find lots and lots of information there. Way more than on TikTok, way more than on Instagram, because YouTube is our main media channel. So let's see. Well, we have Uncle Buck who is asking, is now a good time to be in local trucking or over the road or regional and also an independent dispatcher business? Well, again, you giving me like, where is it better to be now? Local trucking, it depends on equipment. It depends, are you going to be a driver? Do you have an equipment? Do you going to work for the company? Are you going to be an independent? Well, to answer this question, I need extra data. So hope you understand me, right? Where do you live? What is your region? Well, if you live somewhere in Wyoming, probably you should not be in trucking. You should go find company in Midwest, right? Or maybe you can do local trucking since there is not that many truck drivers. So this question, I mean, to answer it, I would need to know extra information. Is it good to be an independent dispatcher? Well, this is a question which we can answer. People asking me, well, Alex, market is tough. Dispatchers probably not making any money. Nobody needs a dispatcher. But here is an true and honest answer. We always need pro dispatchers. We don't really need people who try to dispatch without knowledge, but we need dispatchers who can adjust to the market, who can improve their skills, who can be better negotiation. So the good is dispatchers always needed. And here is the reality. You might know the people who've been dispatching in 2021, 22, even 23, and suddenly they quit. Because when market goes down, without knowledge, without knowing how to build relationships, without improving your skills, it's impossible for you to dispatch trucks nowadays. So you need to be able to multitask. You need to be able to negotiate. You need to be proactive. You cannot just depend on truck stop. You cannot just depend on the DT. Well, you need to utilize all the load boards from other brokers. You need to make sure when you talk to the brokers, you always ask about backhaul, about maybe they have this lane all the time. But remember, we also have a lot of brokers who are playing the same game. They are bidding on that load only today. So that makes our job very hard. So you need to really, really set the steps and you repeat them over and over and over. First, you prioritize who you dispatching in the morning. If you go to the bad area, maybe next time you should avoid that and do not hope for the miracle. Is that a good time for an independent dispatcher? Yes, it's always a good time. Doesn't matter what business you're in, it's when you are ready to do this. But do it correct. Well, now Mr. Uncle Buck tells that he's in Indianapolis. Well, Indianapolis is a strong hub, right? Well, Indianapolis kind of our Midwest powerhouse of logistics. So it doesn't matter which equipment, you will always have freight. But before you're gonna jump into this, you need to calculate your operational cost. Are you gonna be opening MC? Are you gonna be going and working for the company which have been in business for 2, 3, 4 years? So your insurance cost is gonna be cheaper. So they already set up with most of the brokers. So all of these questions you need to answer first before you go to any trucking. I don't care if it's a local, if it's a regional, if it's a OTR, if it's a flatbed, if it's a step deck, if it's a hot shot. Are you going to be driving or you're going to be hiring somebody, right? Well, if you're going to be hiring, again, go back to that operational cost. Does that driver has experience? How much is he going to cost you on that insurance, right? Is he the one who is going and willing to go OTR? If you talk about yourself, well, it makes it easier because at least you are keeping the salary of the driver, right? But again, if you are opening a brand new company, you really have to pay attention to budgeting and seeing how much it's really going to cost you exactly now. The fuel cost is high, insurance cost is high, while tolls were increased. So equipment cost right now is a little bit down, but still all the preventive maintenance is up. All of those parts are going to go up. So before you make that decision, one more time, educate yourself. Do you know how to dispatch? Who is going to be dispatching you? Do you know which paperwork you need to prepare to be successful? Do you know the reality of trucking right now? How many brokers are going to be able to work with you, right? If you have brand new MC, well, probably 5, 10. So are you able to survive on that cheap freight only from TQL, only from C.H. Robinson? Well, you need to calculate that. So hopefully, well, I answer this. But for most of you, when you asking about dispatching career, it depends on what you like to do. Trucking is not going anywhere. We have outsourcing companies which take some market from us. But when you in USA and you actually learn how to do it, there is no competition. Believe it or not, people say, well, most of the companies are looking for the cheaper dispatchers. You know who is looking for cheaper dispatchers? Owners or drivers who do not really know how to run this business. Because a good dispatcher, even if you pay him extra, let's say instead of outsource 2-3%, you're paying him 5-6-7%, he's gonna do better job. That means that your growth is gonna be higher. That means you're not gonna deal with nonsense. You're not gonna be deadheading all over the USA. So answer that. Does it make sense to just look for outsource 2-3%? And again, we do have a lot of good dispatchers who are in different countries, but you need to find them. If you've been watching us, right, we're exposing a lot of bad dispatcher services who try to play the game, oh, let me book this load for you now, dispatcher services who try to get your information, dispatcher services who only call and talk from the script, and when you're going to ask the questions, they have no idea what's going on. Actually, since we are talking about market, let's see, because most of you are gonna be excited that market is doing better. How much better? Who can guess? Is our market is doing better? Well, let's see what's going on with the DAT. DAT charges so much money, but a lot of times their load board is lacking that fast service, I say. So let's see. Let's add DAT thread lines and let's see improvement. And look at this. We are gladly improved for the whole 1 cent for the dry van. This is our improvement. But if you look at our reefers, they are down compared to February, really down compared to January. We are 227. Our flatbed step depths are going up. They're 262. So here's a question. I have a lot of people who asking me, what type of equipment should I start my company with? Again, it depends if you're going to be driving by yourself or if you're going to be hiring drivers. Most of you are going to look and say, well, look at the flatbed. It's 262. I should start with a flatbed Conestoga. Well, I can tell you this. To find a really good driver, responsible driver for flatbed Conestoga is not that easy. He needs to have experience. If you're going to put brand new driver, believe it or not, within the first month or so, you're going to have so many claims because it takes time to learn how to secure properly. If you've never been dispatching and you think that getting those partials are so easy, well, you will be surprised. To dispatch flatbed step decks, you should probably dispatch for at least 6 months. So you're really comfortable with dimensions, with routes, with tolls, and then, well, probably you can do a good job. A lot of times also brokers give you dedicated load. That means they do not want you to put anything else. But of course, in the reality, what's happening? Market is down. Owner operators, company drivers, company dispatchers, we all want to make extra money. So guys, before you're gonna start getting those partials and get in trouble with your main broker, at least be prepared. Because nowadays, they want to take pictures. Let's say you got loaded in Chicago and you going to, I don't know, Dallas. And they paid you for the full load, but you had some extra space. Well, they can send, call your driver or call you and ask for the picture. So at least be prepared. Take at least few pictures with your main load if you decide to cheat the system, right? Scamming takes extra knowledge. Also, when your driver is tracking, how can you explain why is your driver after loading are still going off the road somewhere to Missouri, or maybe he stays in Indiana for too long? At where? At some factory or some distribution center or some farm. So, well, you try to lie to the brokers. Well, they will close their eyes. They will let you to deliver the load. They will make sure that you don't have no claim. But then they will mark your carrier as a carrier who is taking extra unauthorized loads. So guys, nowadays, reality with technology is real, right? Reality is real. Sounds kind of funny, but you need to understand this. Okay? So if you have any questions, we will answer. Hello, how are you? Our TikTokers probably driving, so they cannot really ask questions. And then we have people from different countries who usually watching us. So please, I am a bit confused. Some would say you don't need an MC number to start a dispatch company. Well, you're not a little bit confused. You are really confused. Because if you don't even understand that as a dispatcher, you're going to represent the carrier under his MC, carrier who has his own insurance, his own equipment, that probably you need to learn what dispatchers do, how we do this. So please educate yourself. Nowadays, go to the chat GPT, go to Google and say, does freight dispatcher needs to apply for MC? And you can get that answer. So you have no confusion. Okay, so no, you don't need an MC because you will be working on behalf of carrier, and the only thing you can do, you will be actually booking loads on their behalf. So they have to give you permission. That's why we have independent dispatch carrier dispatcher agreement with a limited power of attorney for what? For me, Alex dispatcher, let's say dispatching Uncle Buck transportation, and he's giving me a limited power to do what? To go on a load board, post his equipment, to maybe register with brokers, do the setup with brokers. He's giving me ability to represent his for booking the load, so I will know his equipment, I will know his driver. He's giving me permission to dispatch his driver. He's given me permission to deal with certain maybe paperwork processes as factoring, invoicing. He's given me the right to sign the rate confirmation. So that's what dispatchers do. And it doesn't matter if you are a company dispatcher or if you are an independent dispatcher. You do not need to apply for MC, USDOT. You don't need to have primary liability, cargo liability. You don't need to have the truck or trailer. You don't need to have a CDL. You can even be located on the moon as long as you have internet, you know how to do it, and you are able to negotiate the load for your carrier. So hopefully I was not that direct answering this, but again, we are trying to change trucking for the better. And when people are going into dispatching, most of them are still confused. How many of you trying to become brokers right away, right? Without even knowing steps for brokerage, or without even knowing what is operational cost, what is a truck, what is a trailer, but you getting that idea from all the trucking gurus. You should not be dispatcher. You should be a broker right away, right? You should not be a driver. You should go open your own MC. Don't be a company driver. Go be an owner operator. You know, when people give those advices, well, ask them all the questions. What do they know about business? Do they even know the requirements for insurance? Do they know how to apply for MCs? Do they know about IFTA, about the permits? Do they know about operational cost? Do they use load boards? So when person can answer you that, then maybe this is a person who can give you advice. But when the people just telling you, oh my God, what kind of dispatcher are you? You still booking loads with a TQL. I love this. It's like It's like the best response. Like, you are not a dispatcher if you're booking load with a TQL. Well, one more time. Listen to me carefully. If I'm representative, sorry, Mr. Uncle Buck, I'm going to use you as an example. If the Mr. Uncle Buck just opened his MC and he's a brand new carrier, I have to kiss TQL's little bot to make sure that they give him loads. So it does not mean that I am desperate dispatcher or I don't know how to dispatch. But because he has brand new MC, he has a limited brokers he can work with. And TQL is one of the companies which will work with you after being in business only for 1 day. So after you actually activate your MC, right? By doing what? By buying the insurance coverage, by putting the BOC3 on file. 21 days later, hopefully, you're receiving your approval. Congratulations, Uncle Buck Transportation. Now you are new entrant carrier. So after he got the letter, now we can start going and try to set up with brokers. 90% of the brokers nowadays is gonna tell, dear Uncle Buck, we love work with you, but unfortunately, you have to prove to us that you've been in business for 6 months, 9 months, year. Some of them require 2 years. Another thing they're gonna say, well, you do not have that inspection on the safer. And now Uncle Buck is thinking what I'm going to do. Well, he cannot just ask police officer to do random inspection, so he needs to drive around and hopefully he's gonna get stopped and they're gonna perform the random inspection. Or a lot of times it's gonna take months and months and months. And brokers will tell, well, you are not a real carrier. Is this the truth? No, it's not. But this is a nonsense. Why? Because now we don't have enough freight. We have too many trucking companies. We have overcapacity of equipment. So most of the brokers, their safety departments, they decided, why should we take a chance with brand new carrier who never took our load? Why should we even bother to set up with him when we already have a bunch of carriers who are begging and taking those loads, cheap loads, without even negotiation? And this is your reality. Well, let's see. Any more questions? If not, we will be done for today because I need to prepare for the IFTA class and safety. So one more time, guys, if you still looking to join us, it's not too late. IFTA is going to be this Saturday from 12 to 4 Central Time. And next week, Saturday, April 19th, we are starting with our safety and compliance. You can purchase separately, but if you buy a bundle, you are saving $250. And as a special Easter promotion for our students, I'm even dropping that price by $200. So if you ever took my classes and you still want to learn safety and compliance, make sure you email me and you're gonna get this instead of $1,049 for only $799. So you saving total of $550. What else? Maybe 5 more minutes. What do you guys want to see? You want to see loads? You want to see market conditions? What should we see? I don't know. Let's see. Our TikTokers are quiet. We don't have that many of them. I tried to join, but it is impossible to start a dispatch company from abroad. I live in Kiev. Well, first, if you live in Kiev, it's not impossible. It's not impossible because we have dispatch companies all over all over. We have them in Moldova, we have them in Romania, we have them in Serbia, we have them in Ukraine, we have them in Uzbekistan, India, Pakistan. So outsourcing is possible. So let's see. I just got us right here. Let's make it a little smaller. So hopefully it looks better. So let's see market conditions. So if you are newer for the DAT1 as a dispatcher, if you have pro subscription, you have a bunch of tools, right? So remember, we have more tools. We have DAT review, DAT1, lane makers, onboarding, thread lines, real-time estimator. So this is something that brokers use. So DAT rate view and real-time estimator, it's for the brokers. So as a dispatcher, why is it important for you to pay attention to this? So if we're gonna add the search, right, we can break our screen. I don't know, maybe I should move myself here so you can see better. So let's say you're a brand new dispatcher and you are in Chicago. So you want to see, well, if I am in Chicago, right? If I am in Chicago and I am driving, here you can only use van, flatbed, and reefer. So it's limited, right? So general. So it can be plated van, it can be hazmat van, whatever. So here it does not break down to all the type of equipment that we have. You can have just flatbed. It's not really break down to step deck or Conestoga. So that's what it does, right? So let's say I'm in Chicago. I want to see. So let's see the reality of this. So it tells us that outbound. What does it mean outbound? Outbound means how many loads are today are going out of Chicago for flatbed, for example. And it tells us that we have approximately 2,000 loads, right? And we have 254 posted trucks, which gives us a great ratio. Well, don't get mistaken. Make sure that you go and you actually post the flatbed in Chicago and see. Again, today we're already at 5 p.m. Central Time. I don't think we're going to see that many postings, but we'll verify. Let's look at the drive-in. Well, the drive-in, what's going on with the drive-in? Why people are staying home and actually just playing on PlayStations, right? Why? Because the drive-in market in Chicago kind of not that good. It's actually terrible. So a lot of drivers were sitting home on Monday. The dispatchers couldn't find anything for Tuesday. And some of them decided to take a break right now. Why? Because look at the ratio. We have 3,000 loads and we have 3,000, let's say, trucks posted. So what does it mean? That means when that load appears on the load board, everybody's calling that broker. And people don't even negotiate. They just give an MC and say, well, here's my MC, 111-222-555. Can I book this load? And a lot of times, you cannot even finish your sentence and they're going to say, well, this load is already booked. When you try to ask for extra money, they are simply laughing at you and saying, wow, don't you know the reality today in Chicago? Well, you should know the reality. Let's say you were lucky and you found the load, I don't know, to Dallas. So you got load to Dallas. So why do you want to break this in two screens like I'm showing you right now? Because now you want to see, well, what's gonna happen in Dallas? Pay attention, make sure you put to today. And look at this. The map is telling you, you made a great decision. I don't know if you are driving for $1.70, $1.60, but you should be golden in Dallas because the ratio is 8.2. 6,000 loads for outbound from Dallas for dry van in this case. Let's change to the reefers. Let's say if we had a reefer and we did the same thing, right? What would be here? Well, it was easy to find a load for reefer in Chicago. Well, in Dallas, it's also shown, well, it's not going to be that bad. What if we were talking about flatbed? Well, let's see. It's still going to be good in Chicago. You could have find the load, but if you go to, let me switch. Sorry, I made mistake. Flatbed. If you go to Dallas, well, even better, 23.5. And here is the thing. We get so excited about these numbers and about all these colors because look, if you look at this map, right, if I delete this right now, look at this. Look at the USA. And every trucking guru is teaching you, go look at the market conditions. And when you see the red color, that's where you send your trucks. That would be very easy to dispatch your trucks if that would be the truth. Because now this is the first step. Let's say, look, we just watched that Dallas is a great place to be. Well, let's validate now. Let's see and post. Let me post my truck for tomorrow. Okay, I'm gonna post for tomorrow since it's Wednesday. I want to be realistic. And I'm going to put Dallas, Texas. And we're gonna switch different equipment. I'm gonna put drive-in first. We're gonna choose 53, let's say 46, post. Well, let's look and search. Guys, I only see 500 loads posted. What was market conditions promising us in Dallas? Let's add one more time. I'm adding that Dallas, right? I'm adding that Dallas, Texas. I'm switching to drive-in. And we're going to look at the current day or previous day. So look, it shows me that there is 6,000 loads. Today, it was 6,000 loads. Well, let's look at the reality. Do you see 6,000 loads? And this is posted for the whole USA. It's only 559 results. So tell me, how can I teach my students to only look at the colors and those fancy numbers? The reality is different. I love DT. I'm so proud to be affiliate for them. But there is a big difference of the reality of those numbers and colors which they show and what's really going on the load board. Let's switch. Maybe let's delete the partials. Let's see if that's gonna change. 528. Let's switch to reefers. Maybe they are correct with reefers, right? So, let's do flatbeds right now. Okay, flatbeds. Let's search. Well, 235. Let me go back. I want to look at the Dallas for outbound for flatbed. They are telling me, what are they telling me? For flatbed, 3,500 loads. Where are they? It's only 235 loads posted for tomorrow. Okay. Let's say tomorrow broker's gonna show up to work and they're gonna post maybe another 300. But 500 loads total compared to the promised 3,500. This is a huge, huge difference, right? Let's try the reefers now. We're gonna switch reefers here, right? We're gonna put reefers here. And again, we're gonna search. 233. Let's look at the market conditions. Let's switch to the reefers here. Let's switch to the reefers here. And let's see, in Dallas, they're showing that today there was 2,600 loads. Previous day, it was another 2,400. Previous 8 days, they had 1,900 loads. And previous 30 days, they had They had 8,000 loads. So, guys, do you see that you cannot only pay attention to these numbers, but you need to post? Okay, who is a reefer guys today? Do we have any reefer guys today? Yes or no? Let's see. Where do we have produce now? Actually, I went to the store yesterday and I bought a very tasty watermelon. I remember growing up in Ukraine. I'm born in the Kirovograd region. We had those dark watermelons from Kherson area, Nikolaev area, Mykolaiv, Kherson. And yesterday I spotted the dark watermelon in the store. And I guess it's a season for watermelon. But as I still coming from Mexico, Florida is already paying. So let's see. Let's post my truck. Let's post for tomorrow. And let's post truck somewhere. I don't know. Tampa. Let's post Tampa, Florida, right? Let's choose the reefer. And let's see what's going on. Well, 87 loads. I'm not even going to look into it because I can answer my questions. No, the watermelons did not come from Florida. Florida is still growing them. So when are those watermelons going to hit our market? Well, probably in the end of April, beginning of June, right? So let's look what's going on in California. Should we see what's going on today? Let's say you are stuck in Los Angeles. Again, we are checking on our reefers. I love my reefers, so I like to check on them. So let's see how many loads we have in California today. And again, I did not post the Northern California. I posted Los Angeles area. So we only have 100 matching loads. And look at that. What is the highest paying load right now in California? Well, going from San Diego to Boston, Massachusetts. The broker is Top Point Logistics and they're paying $6,700. And it's approximately $220 per mile. But remember, we posted truck in Los Angeles, so we still need to deadhead to San Diego. So by the time we deadhead to San Diego, 120 miles, that rate probably gonna become $2. Is that enough for reefer with their operational cost to go all the way to Boston, Massachusetts? No, that's not enough. Okay, let's see. What is our Nogales doing right now? Right? Let's see. Nogales, Arizona. If we are bringing produce from Mexico, let's see here. Wow, 44 loads posted for today. What was the highest rate today? 240. 217 to 36. Well, 240 was going to Canada. Well, can you go to Canada? Do you have Canadian at 30? Well, probably not. So you are done to your 217, 230 per mile, right? Who is the brokers? TQL, Lynx Freight, never heard of them. 7 Star, and we only have 44 matching loads. So if you are a reefer guy, are you going right now to Nogales? No, no, and no. Let's check on McAllen and Laredo. I'm just going to put McAllen because usually people deadhead. So let's see. Well, 43, 46, post. And we're going to see 163. So if we compare Los Angeles, if we compare San Diego, Nogales, well, McAllen is doing a little bit better. Even for today, we still have 163 loads which are posted, and most of them are going to Massachusetts, Bronx, New York, and they're paying approximately $2.40 per mile. This is without negotiation, right? So this is your McAllen and Loretto. So if you're still debating where to go, well, probably go there. Well, let's check on Yakima. And then we'll check on Idaho, right? About our potatoes. So let's see. Reefer, 53, 46, Post. And look at this. In Washington, is there really apples are shipping? Is there really onions are shipping? Is there really apricots? No, it's not a season for apples. So yes, we have some apples there, but this is from previous season. We have some frozen cherries there. We have some frozen apple concentrate. Yes, but do they pay? Look, they pay $2 per mile to get back. And plus, to go to Washington, to go to California, to go to Nogales, how much are you getting? $1.70? If you lucky, $1.80? So here's the answer for Mr. Uncle Buck. Do you want to do OTR right now if you are reefer? Do you want to go all the way from Indianapolis, all the way to Nogales, all the way to Yakima, all the way to San Diego? No, no, and no. Let's check Twin Falls, Idaho. Let's see what's going on with our potatoes. Again, this is not a season, but we want to make sure because we do have equipment, right? You as a dispatcher, you need to move those trucks. If you are so unlucky and you work for the company in the office and they put 12 trucks on you, you probably going crazy already. So you just trying to send them far away from Chicago, far away from Columbus, so you have a break, right? But then you creating your own nightmare because when they get there, then you cannot find reloads. So listen to me. Stick to Midwest. Stick to your regional runs right now. Don't do OTR. We cannot afford this unless, again, you're a mega carrier and hopefully you have a good sales team who has those direct loads, right? Otherwise, do not do this. Okay, so what did we were checking? Twin Falls, Idaho. Okay, here you go. 22 loads. What if we are gonna go to upstate Wisconsin, right? We have cheese there, we have dairy there. Let's check. Let's put Appleton, Wisconsin, right? Who is calling us? Dispatch.
Hello?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. What about you?
I'm great. How can I help?
Well, I just wanted to check if you still have a truck available in McAllen for tomorrow. I have a load going to Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Okay, which company are you working for?
SPI Logistics.
Which one?
SPI 253915.
Hold on, let me log into my factoring. And if you can repeat, please, one more time. What is it?
It's 253915.
915. Okay, so your load is picking up tomorrow?
It's picking up tomorrow from McAllen, Texas, and delivering next day in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. One pick, one drop. Load of melons.
Load of melons. Who is a receiver in Baton Rouge?
I guess it's one of the Capital Produce. Yeah, Capital Produce.
And do you have an appointment?
Yes, we do have an appointment at 1 p.m.
Also, they are afternoon receiver?
Yeah, the afternoon receiver.
Okay. And how much are you paying?
On this one, rate-wise, I have 1,800.
1,800. Watermelons. Well, we posted truck for today. Is there any way we can pick up today?
Well, currently, this one, we are looking out to make the pickup tomorrow. You can do the pickup tomorrow morning if you want, once they open at 10 o'clock.
Oh, they open at 10 o'clock? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How long is going to be unloading there in Louisiana since it's 1 p.m. and it's going to be Friday? So I do need to make sure we reload. How is the unloading there? I never went to the receiver. Are they good?
Yeah, pretty good because we have delivered a couple of shipments over there. We
Mhm.
never had a request of detention yet from the carriers because they're pretty good receivers.
Okay, sounds good. So is there any way you could meet me at 2200?
That one is actually going very tough for me. I can try to add another $100 and maybe I can meet you at 1900.
Well, 1900. Well, since we have to wait till tomorrow, unfortunately, I need extra money. So you can put my offer in for 21 and call me back. Okay?
21, right? And you
Yep.
said you're empty today, that's correct?
Yes, we're empty today. Okay?
Okay, and over here your MC is not showing up on the board. It's just saying dispatch training center. Do you know on which MC you'll be booking this? Just wanted to check if we are set up or not.
Yes, let's check if we are.
Uh, we are not set up, but we will have to do the setup.
Well, before we do the setup, let me know if you can get to 2100 and call me back. I see you located in Canada, right? You're calling from Canada?
That's correct.
Yeah, just call me back and then we can do the setup. I'll be working for another 20 minutes. Okay?
No worries. I'll do that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye. So, guys, well, first, we were just practicing, right? So I don't really have the call there. I mean, the call there. I don't really have the truck there. But when she called, what did we do? Well, we went and we checked them on our RTS, right? They are C, so they approved carrier. Then I actually prepared the map. So right now it's 5:32 p.m. So if you did not find load yet, probably this is a load you can pick up tomorrow. What I don't like about it? Well, I don't like to deliver at 1 p.m. in Louisiana on Friday. But again, if you pre-book your load tomorrow from Louisiana, you can still pick up reefer loads on Saturday. So that's why we're asking for extra money. So for 2100, if your truck is getting empty tonight or early tomorrow, you can pick up this load and you can make your $2,100 or $2,000. So what did she do? She started with 1800, right? And then you ask for more and she says, well, I can do another 100. And should you agree? Well, if you're a pro dispatcher, you would never agree, right? Because you are pro dispatcher. So we always finish negotiation with what we are looking for. So did you see? I told her, well, I will be working for another 20 minutes. Call me back and you can put my offer. From 22, I went down to 21. So that's how negotiations are going into trucking. But this is a good example of what did we do? Did we just went, let's see, let's go back. Did we just went and search for the loads? We actually posted. We posted our truck. That's why I'm receiving the phone call. Because a lot of times people are telling, wow, this is all fake. Nobody calls. I never receive the phone calls. How is she receiving the phone calls? Guys, I'm doing live with you, right? We just posted and we're receiving phone call. Why? Because when you post your equipment, you advertising your equipment to the old brokers so they see that you posted truck today in McAllen, let's say. We did not indicate where we were going. So she's calling and she's telling me, well, I have load for tomorrow. Well, why? She also wants to make sure it's going to get picked up. Well, what was the commodity on it? Can you believe the universe? Well, universe was listening to me because Alex was talking about watermelons earlier, right? So the commodity on this was also watermelons. Look at this. Wow, guys, I hope that you enjoying this. And again, everybody who has inappropriate comments is going to be blocked on our media, on YouTube, on TikTok, and Facebook. So, guys, we're here to educate you. We are not playing some dirty-minded games. So make sure you have respect. And if you are eager to learn, hopefully this little presentation today is improving your skills. One more time, remember we are starting our IFTA this Saturday. Make sure you go to our site, learndispatchtoday.com. Also, if you are brand new carrier and you want to save on those expensive load boards, make sure you also see our affiliate link and you can save 10% for the 12 months only for the carriers, and independent dispatchers cannot have load board nowadays. On Truck Stop, we have 1 free month if you are choosing Pro subscription. So make sure you go to our site and check all of this. Also, if you are really liking our content, you can actually sponsor the classes for the future students and become a member. Our membership is only $4 a month. It's $3.99. And together, we can change trucking for the better, and we can change somebody's life by giving them free education. One more time, big thank you to the members who've been with us for a long time. Our list goes up and down, but we have loyal people who've been members for the last 3 years. So thank you so much, because you're helping me and DTC, Dispatch Training Center, to change trucking for the better. As always, make sure you like, share, ask questions. And if you decide to register for the classes, visit our website. I'll see you guys soon, and hopefully we can change this nonsense for the better soonish. I really hope so.
Ready to conquer fuel tax reporting like a pro? The International Fuel Tax Agreement, or IFTA, is here to simplify your journey through multiple states and provinces. Our comprehensive training program covers everything from permit procedures for Connecticut, New York, Kentucky, New Mexico, and Oregon, to mastering applications, renewals, and decal acquisitions. Learn expert tips for smooth quarterly filings and audit preparation, and get all your essential paperwork questions answered. Join us to elevate your IFTA